have heard that people in Warminster have been reporting me to the police for things I haven't done, indeed. This is a rerun of Devices, where confidential police informants were constantly monitoring me for the police, including the protected guy, who I can reveal now was Alex Day of Devices. He was the protected guy. He was being protected for a series of really bad child rapes in Swindon and was smuggled to Devices by the intelligence services and set up as a drug dealer by Devices police. Indeed, this seems to happen a lot. Indeed, Devices takes the form of a method of protective custody for particular child rapists that cannot be put into prison for their crimes. So, still very interesting to consider indeed. Warminster, i.e., the area surrounding the Warminster military base, is also a functioning protective custody apparently. So it's interesting to consider what is really going on in Wiltshire. However, there is a lesser degree of police protection for these people here because of the fact that the police headquarters is not located here. However, the military provide protection for the child rapists in Warminster. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. Devizes police are basically functioning as gatekeepers for a crown paedophile ring. So it's all very interesting to consider in light of events in Devizes and the fact that the Devizes police are operating a syndicate via the Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop for mass organ harvesting, child trafficking, and the production of cannibal meat. So it's all really very interesting to consider. On another note, it seems that the British intelligence services are getting ready to produce a false flag that will drag the United Kingdom into a war with the Russian Federation. Indeed, this is all pertaining to the fact that the Roundway experiment is close to being exposed. Indeed, the Devizes lobby in the British government is very powerful and operated by very powerful Masons. And indeed, when Devizes is threatened, the British authorities tend to cause global friction. So it's all very interesting the amount of protection that the Devizes police ring has within the British government. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. The organ trade is basically a large state secret, and no information about the organ trade operating through Devizes is meant to be placed in the public domain until now. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. Devizes police oversee the organ traffic from Mauritania to Devizes, also utilizing networks of jihadists for the transfer of organs from conflict zones in Mauritania to Devizes, which are then stored by Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop butchers for future sale. Indeed, as I've stated, the biggest client of the Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop organ harvesting cartel is the Russian elite. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, these guys will pay hundreds of millions of pounds for a liver. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, what makes it more interesting is that the Walter Rose and Sons butchers of Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop would have had sex with that liver before it goes on sale. Indeed, this is their trademark, to have sex with the organs before the organs are distributed. So it's interesting to consider this indeed. Devizes police are heavily involved in coordinating rape circuits across Wiltshire, as I've delineated in several previous videos. Indeed, How does this all pertain to the Roundway experiment? Indeed, there are various networks of Soviet programmers who operate mind control operations at Roundway also. Indeed, they are imported from the Russian Federation, primarily for programming the mental patients kept in catacombs beneath the town of Devizes. So it's interesting to consider, indeed, there is one Soviet programmer, Maxim Goldstein, who is chiefly operative for the GRU, an attempt to program mental patients as cyborgs, interestingly, indeed. There's all sort of strange transhumanist experimentation going on in the catacombs beneath Devizes. Indeed, the average guys of Devizes police do not have the clearance to know the details of the top secret experimentation taking place in the Roundway experiment. However, they still work to keep this operation protected as much as possible and to attempt to stop any revelations about the town of Devizes from leaking into the public domain. It is all very interesting to consider the fact that after I first began to expose the organ harvesting network operating out of Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop, I was attacked with microwave beaming technology. Indeed, I am yet to fully identify the perpetrators of this microwave beaming technology. However, I have a few theories. Top of my list is the Ferris family of Chippenham, Melksham, and Devizes. Indeed, I've heard the Ferris family's voices via the voice to skull beaming technology, where they are implanting thoughts into my brain. And this all interconnects to the network of the United Grand Lodge of England, coordinated by Master Mason Samuel Buchan, who was attempting to have me scrubbed from the internet. So it's all very interesting to consider and altogether very strange. Indeed, the Roundway experiment is funded by black budget operations of MI6 abroad and domestically. Indeed, as I stated before, MI6 make £500 billion a year on the global narcotics trade. Indeed, much of this funding is put into the Roundway experiment. Indeed, the Roundway experiment costs an estimated £200 billion a year to operate. So it's all very interesting indeed. The experimentation involved mind control, i.e. the programming of schizophrenic super spies to be utilized as British intelligence operatives, and also the creation of hypno-programmed assassins directed to cause chaos domestically, and also the production of synthetic opioids ready for distribution in the United Kingdom, what with the opiate production diminishing in foreign countries, and also the time travel and parallel dimension experiments that I'm a bit sketchy on the details of. Indeed, it seems there are Nazi programmers overseeing these operations, connected to the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst networks operating out of Leipzig. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. There is an operation codenamed Privacy operating out at the moment out of Devizes that is attempting to shut down any mention of the Roundway experiment from the internet. Indeed, the Roundway experiment is a deeply classified state secret, only known to the most senior intelligence operatives. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Devizes police are aware of the Roundway experiment, though. However, they are sworn to secrecy and are not aware of the details of the experiments. Indeed, several thousand Russian heritage mental patients are being stored underground in catacombs beneath the town of Devizes, utilized for experimentation in a joint MI6 GRU mind control operation, attempting to basically blast sound waves at mental patients to see what happens, and also to provide ritual sacrifice for the eventual coming of the Masonic Messiah. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, all of this serves an occult purpose. Indeed, as I stated, the butchers of Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop are themselves initiates of die Blutordnung, i.e. the Blood Ordinance, a German cult that operates for the DVD. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop have threatened legal action against me. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop organ harvesters are interconnecting with so many networks that I may not live much longer, because this exposure of Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop is exactly what may get me killed. However, I am optimistic that I'm going to be alright. Indeed, Putin's boys are attempting a clampdown on mental patients in Russian psychiatric facilities, now that rumors are spreading about Putin's Sabbatean heritage. So it's all very interesting to note that Putin is a Sabbatean through his mother, and also has no foreskin. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Putin is chiefly operative for the Alphabet, i.e. a secretive Sabbatean intelligence cell operating out of Kursk in Russia, which is very close to Chabad Lubavitch territory. So it's all very interesting to consider the interconnectivity between Chabad Lubavitch and their influence within the Russian government, and various Sabbatean intelligence cells such as the Alphabet. Indeed, the Alphabet contains a large Lubavitcher contingent within its intelligence cells. So it's all very interesting how these networks interconnect with the Russian mob, i.e. the cartel. Indeed, joint Russian-Israeli operatives do seem to be running a lot of Russian mob operations here in the United Kingdom. So it's all very interesting to consider these networks and how they interconnect with Israeli state and Russian state organ harvesting operations. And indeed, these operations all interconnect with Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop of Devizes, which is the chief link in the cartel's operation and nets billions of pounds a year for the MI6 black budget. So it's all very interesting to consider. That's not to mention that in the same town as Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop, the Roundway experiment is taking place, operated by MI6 via the Mindgate program, with defense intelligence contingents also present in the Roundway experiment. Indeed, defense intelligence run the Warminster military base, which is a key connection in the organ traffic. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider how all of this interconnects, and the fact that Warminster residents have started reporting me to the police for so-called crimes. So it's all interesting to consider. Indeed, there is a large confidential police informant network here in Warminster, mainly consisting of local so-called gangsters who are themselves in protective custody for child rape. So it's interesting to consider all of these guys in protective custody for child rape in Wiltshire. the towns of Wiltshire are being used as protective custody because these guys' crimes are so heinous and grisly, they can't be sent to prison. Indeed, the Russian mafia are attempting a hit on me in the next couple of days for exposing Putin's Sabbatean heritage, so it could be interesting. I could be shot down in the street by Russian mobsters connected to Lubavitch and the Putin regime. So if you don't hear from me again over the next couple of days, you know what's happened. Indeed, the Russian mob are attempting to gain entry to Warminster to get the majority percentages to take me out in a combined hit between the Russian mob and MI6, who are themselves not actually licensed to kill me on UK soil. So it's very interesting to consider MI6 are not licensed to kill me on UK soil. However, they have opted for a long-range strategy whereby I will be worn down by microwave beams and go crazy so that the police can kill me in custody. So it's all very interesting to know I cannot get myself arrested again because Wiltshire police have intentions to kill me in custody as soon as I am arrested. Indeed, PC Miller also wants an opportunity to rape me because he missed out last time. So it's interesting to consider PC Miller's urges in that regard. Indeed, it's all really quite disturbing. Indeed, the networks of Devizes Police are operating a scheme with Russian mobsters to destroy everything in Wiltshire if this comes down. Indeed, Devizes Police are contracting the Russian mob to protect their domain. Indeed, it's all very interesting considering how the political situation is that Devizes Police are locked in intricate cartel arrangements with Russian mobsters whose networks originate in Kursk, i.e. the headquarters of the Alphabet network, the Sabbatean secret agency which contains many Hasidic Lubavitchers within their ranks. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, this all points to a vast Sabbatean conspiracy interconnecting with DVD operatives already on British soil. So it's all very interesting to consider what is going on in the small towns in Wiltshire and how this may impact on my future. Indeed, I am in a rather dangerous position. I'm wanted, dead or alive, by the residents of Devizes, and wanted dead or alive by the Putin regime. So it's all very interesting. I seem to have got myself caught up in a fracas. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider that I am just a lunatic. One of Itzhak Bentov's theorized 20 to 30% of mental patients who are of a higher stage of evolution than the rest of society. This is why I can't function or adapt to modern society. It's because I am at a higher stage of evolution than other people. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, apparently, my confirmation of Itzhak Bentov's theory is causing problems for Russian intelligence cells as they wish to recreate schizophrenia in intelligence operatives now. So it's interesting to consider. Indeed, it's all very interesting. The fact that mental patients' networks may be infiltrating the Russian internal security and intelligence services in an attempt to gain majority percentages to shoot Putin, which is causing a lot of consternation for Vladdy Indeed, he is running Russian mob operations here in Wiltshire through Salisbury's GRU cells, attempting to gain majority percentages for a hit on me. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, this may not occur. However, this could cause an international incident, which is all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I seem to have got myself in an unusually precarious situation. However, I am optimistic I will make it through the next few days and not be bopped off by Russian mobsters. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. I'm going to leave it there now and have some breakfast.